Welcome once again and good morning. Welcome to the second part of our Twitter Jabs this morning. And as we discussed on Twitter Jabs part 1, we are discussing the Italian Cultural and Culinary Week that took place last week from Monday to Friday. Now this past Wednesday, Chef Rajab Mwitu of the Stonehaven tantalized palates of Kampala foodies with his rendition of the Afro-Italian cuisine with his mouth-watering recipes. Yes, and as promised from Twitter Jabs Part 1, he has graced us with his presence this morning. Good morning, Rajab. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for coming through. I know it was raining in the morning and you had to get up early. This morning shows are quite something.
Yes.
Now, as we'll be talking about the Italian Culinary and Cultural Week, and we'll be taking a focus on the culinary side, the food side.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
And I'd like to read this from the Italian ambassador.
Yes.
Italian ambassador to Uganda, Massimiliano Liano Mazzanti, reveals that over the years, the week, that is the Italian Culture and Culinary Week, has grown in stature, and the anticipation is high this time round. This annual celebration aims to promote Italian food and cultural traditions as a distinctive trait of Italian and the spirit of Italian culture, he reveals. And this article went on to say, this, he says, will be followed by an Italian-Uganda fusion masterclass for selected chefs. These are the activities that were taking place last week. The masterclass will be Ugandan renowned chef Rajab Mwitu, who is in studio with us this morning. He will merge Italian and Ugandan cuisines to create a unique and delectable equatorial taste. The aim of this masterclass is to highlight the influence of the Italian cuisine on our everyday meals through the use of local ingredients and preparation techniques, Mazzanti says. Now, I'd like to ask you, Chef, when we talk about culture, usually we talk about cultural competence and being culturally inclusive, yeah?
Yes.
Rarely do we talk about culture fusion. Yeah?
Yes.
So how did this come about? The fusion of foods, the Afro-Italian fusion. How did this idea come about?
This idea came about, it was an ambassador of Italy, His Excellency Massimiliano, whereby he used to come. He's always at the restaurant, which is Stonehaven, and he normally eats the food of the Stonehaven. I'm the favorite chef, and I prepare a nice meal for him. So that's why he decided we come up with a fusion of Italian cuisine and Ugandan ingredients.
Okay, so the food that he eats is Italian cuisine.
Yeah, it's Italian cuisine.
Okay.
Yes, twisted with the Ugandan ingredients.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. And is your expertise as a chef mainly on Italian cuisine?
No,
and Ugandan cuisine?
Not only Italian or Ugandan, but even Asian. I do Asian.
Oh, you do Asian? Yeah. Which Asian do you do? Thai?
Yes, I do Thai. I do Thai. I do Mongolian.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Mongolian is nice. But anyways, we are focusing today on the culinary experience of Italian food. So let me ask you, why the fusion of culture and cuisine? What was behind the scenes? What inspired this for this particular festival on that? The Florentine cuisine.
Yes. Actually, for the Italian culture and the fusion, it was all about celebrating the legend, which was Federico Fellini, the actor and a filmmaker, which was born, I think, on January 20th, 1920.
Wow.
So those are long years ago.
Yes.
So this came, the fusion came to combine Italian and Uganda to celebrate a culture. Yes.
Interesting. Well, you had that, but now
Yes.
I'd like to know what were your hit dishes this past Wednesday? Because when I think of Italian, I'm thinking of carbonara, I'm thinking of ravioli, and when I think of Ugandan, I'm thinking of like katogo with offals, or binyebwa. So how was the fusion? What was your hit dish?
My hit dish, which even Ambassador was impressed, and the guest, it was chicken cacciatore. Yeah, this cacciatore in Italian language means hunter.
Okay.
Yeah, but when you say alla cacciatora, means in hunter style.
Ah, okay.
Prepared in hunter style.
And what was the Ugandan side of it? Because it's an Afro-Italian fusion.
Yes.
What was, yeah.
Now, in Uganda style, which I infused, it was entura.
I love entura.
Yes. So instead of putting the olives, whereby Italians, they use black olives,
Yes.
I twisted into entura.
How did you make the entura? Because here we usually like steaming it. Did you do it in another way?
I steamed them, yes, and then I added on the sauce.
Which sauce?
The one for the cacciatore sauce.
And what
because
sauce is that?
Cacciatore sauce, these are chicken. In Italian culture, hunter style, you can use chicken or rabbit.
Okay.
And this food long ago used to be for legends.
Okay.
So how I prepared, I use sweet peppers. I think you know them.
Yes.
Or bell peppers.
Yeah.
And tomato puree.
Oh, that comes into the sauce.
Yeah, and then a herb, like mixed herb. You mix on the sauce, and instead of olives, you put
Entura.
entura.
Oh,
and
that
then
sounds delicious.
you pan-seared the chicken thighs. You can use any chicken, any part of chicken, but I use thigh because thigh has only one bone.
Okay.
It's easy to eat.
Yeah.
And you guess what? Another thing I served with. So for them, they normally do with rice or potatoes. But for me, I served with plantain.
Ah, nice. That's a
Gonja.
good twist.
Yes.
Gonja.
Yes.
That's a proper Afro-Italian fusion. You had that right. I hope you're going to prepare that at home. I'm definitely going to prepare it. As we wrap up for the next year, will you be partaking in the Afro-Italian culinary fusion experience?
Yes.
You will be?
I will.
What should we expect?
You expect more than this.
More than this?
Yes.
Well, that is quite good to know. I'm definitely going to be there.
Okay.
Is it going to be at the Stonehaven?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, because it's the ambassador's best
Favorite,
place to eat.
yes.
Well, thank you for coming through. I know, as I said, it was quite a cold morning, but thank you for gracing us with your presence this morning.
You're welcome.
Well, you had that from the horse's mouth. Mr. and Chef Rajab Mwitu this morning with the Afro-Italian fusion that took place at the Stonehaven last week for the Italian Culinary and Cultural Week. That's all we had for you on the Twitter Jabs Part 2 with me, Sandra Kopp, but do not go anywhere because next on is Shivan and she has a special guest and she's going to show us how to make a rainbow fruit skewers. Don't blink.